Everybody's waiting for something else to happen. It depends on, when they bought it. Some guys bought this land in the 80s. Some guys bought it 3 years ago. So everybody's got different motivations and different levers that they're trying to pull. I kind of ran you through a very tricky assembly that I was looking at up on Yonge Street, which is like dead and not worth doing right now. And part of your advice was that. And I was just getting general land assembly advice, I think, at that time, because I was putting together, and I'm still kind of working on, as we discussed, you say these deals come together and then they fall apart, and then they come together and they fall apart, and then everybody's mad at you, and then they come together like, 2 years after you started. I'm about 18 months into that 2 years on a set of land right now. But, land's tough to do right now. A lot of sellers still want their top dollar. They want the 2019 price, and they're not going to get it. And I don't see that coming back kind of ever, to be honest with you, but I think at least not for the foreseeable future. And everybody's waiting for something else to happen. It depends on, when they bought it. Some guys bought this land in the 80s. Some guys bought it 3 years ago. So everybody's got different motivations and different levers that they're trying to pull. And you're just kind of waiting for everybody to see other opportunity elsewhere that they can take their money and run and do something with. Or enough maximum pain that they're going to let it go. And
are you seeing any deals actually transact right now? Are you seeing anybody actually put deals together?
I'll tell you, I've talked to a developer about coming in on a project. It would be a multi-tower project, maybe 3 to 5, depending on how many pieces of this assembly we get. And they would be willing to come in. They've got some cash. They're not going to be the main, equity guys on it. But a lot of the LP guys I talk to, they're kind of telling me the story that we see on a small scale going up, which I never really computed properly, which is, they're saying, look, we bought land for 50 or $100 million in 2022 or 2021, but we had a 2-year time horizon. But now when we're going to close, we thought we were getting $70 million to close on this, and we were only putting 30 in, but now it's only appraising at 48 million or 56 million or whatever it is. And we've got to put in an extra 25 to get our financing. And we have to do it now because, the guys on the other side also can't just keep extending, because maybe they've got a loan that's called in. So I find even, kind of going up the food chain, people are getting to the point where they're underwater. I'm sure Darryl knows this better. Like there's a lot of guys that bought a lot of property that are all underwater right now, whether the bank is underwater on it, the investor's got no equity in it right now. And the only way to exit any of these projects are going to be to build them out. And it's hard to even get to that point because the pre-sales are not coming in. So I think everybody is waiting right now. They're really waiting for a change in environment, but there's only so long you can wait, because the longer you wait, you're just starving yourself out. Like, how skinny can you get until you just keel over? They're getting to that point in a lot of it. What I have found interesting is talking to some of my guys that they're basically saying June-ish, like kind of June 1st is like what they're thinking, is a lot of the big pension funds are going to come in and start buying everything. And they've kind of told me that since last year. I think it's still true. I haven't talked to them in the last maybe 30 or 40 days, but it seems like basically a lot of the very big guys are waiting to pounce when all of these, as you guys were talking about, it sounds like Van Dyke, when all these guys that have zoned properties coming through, and there's a lot of receivership coming through. The few lenders that I talked to, I would say in aggregate, probably 200, 250 sites are going to receivership this year. That's what they've got slated. Now, they won't dump them all out, but they're going to start peppering them out over time.
250 sites?
Yes. And now that's not high rise. That's, mix of
like houses.
I would say a lot of it is the smaller stuff going up to, I would say anything probably in the 30,000 to 200 square foot range. Like that GFA is really hard to do.
This would be like across the province.
I would say
Southern Ontario. GTA. Yeah.
Well, it's tough because they won't tell me exactly where it is.
Yeah. Like it wouldn't be like Toronto proper.
No, it's not going to be like
the sites that are all within. Yeah.
But I would say, like how I look at it is, I would say, yeah, GTA. That would be kind of my guess. I don't think
it goes to Hamilton now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, depends on how far GTA is. It's St. Catharines.
So hold on a sec. Can we back up a sec? Because you said something that kind of struck something with me that I never considered, and I have not heard about this, but this doesn't mean it's not happening. So if I was a brilliant developer a couple of years ago and I had made a deal with a seller
Mhm.
and had got myself a long closing, what
Mhm.
you're saying is that it may not have been so smart because now the value is not where it needs
Yeah.
to be in order for them to get their financing that they perform it. Is
Yeah.
that possible?
I can only see their density increasing though over that time, right?
But it's a per square foot basis. So say you paid 200 a square foot.
For land or for GFA?
GFA.
Okay.
And now if it's coming in at, call it 120. Because all of
Suppose
the other
there are
costs
some
have
areas where
risen.
that's possible.
They're financing at that, yeah, based on the per buildable. Yeah.
And I
then
only
rates
know
too.
it
And then rates too, that
anecdotally.
kind of compounds it.
But the
Yeah,
GFA is
exactly.
probably higher.
So
This is an interesting consideration. I never
Yes.
kind of thought about that. I'd love an example or something like that, because I'm trying to think of who would be so dumb. But I guess there's some guys that would be dumb. Yeah.
Well, keep in mind, like, it's only dumb in retrospect. And that's a tough thing with a lot of this is you're like, I think a lot of people, the best people act a lot and act quickly, but you're only a genius in retrospect and you're only stupid in retrospect, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Because you don't know what's going to happen. Everybody that was lining up land 2019 to 22, they were going to make a fortune if rates stayed 2%, 3%. Because that's what
but if you were thinking or in tune, you were like, holy shit, I better get out of everything around that time.
And
right?
some
Like,
people,
it was like,
yeah, some people did. But then you have guys that just said, now's the time to grow, grow, grow. And I think at that time, what probably you were seeing, and I wasn't doing a lot in land at that time, so I can't speak to it, but a lot of sellers, I believe, would do these longer closes and extend these because they were getting top dollar. So
right,
ultimately,
to get the top dollar. That's
Yeah.
why they did it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think this comes down to developers should actually be structuring their deals as a percentage of revenue purchase. Like, this is how I would go into it blindly right now. I would say, look, I can afford 7% land to revenue ratio. I will give you 9% on close, some, pieces in between to keep the relationship going and make sure your debts are covered.
If both sides are savvy, I think that would be a
but it's,
a deal you could
don't know
structure.
who owns what. One person inherited the land, one person's running.
Yeah, good luck doing that on an assembly with
they're not going to be like, sure, buddy.
Yeah.
And tell me exactly how much money you made, and I'm going to get a percentage of that.
Exactly. Yeah. And then it's going to be honest. And then what are we calculating it on? Is it the saleable square footage or the GFA?
No, but that's a density bonus. This is nothing new. Like, people have done density bonuses that are very transparent and fairly easy to incorporate into the deal.
Yeah, you need like 3 metrics that are easily trackable that you can't monkey around with too much.
Hey guys, thanks for watching our clips channel. Why don't you go and check out some more clips? We got lots of other good content somewhere over here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Boom.
That was good.
That was good. I like that. That was good.